Your mission, if you choose to accept, is to gather as much information as you can about agents in Virginia.
If you're in Virginia, you can always start off getting experience here and then move out there once you have like a little bit more of a connection and a network built up.
To be very honest, the odds of being in the film industry through staying here your whole life is very tough. It's not impossible, but it's very tough.
I know several people who live in Richmond who this is what they do. They act, and they make their living as actors. They make their living as directors.
We have this thing of being a small state, I guess, so people don't think that we do, but I think we do.
I'm at the drop-off building.
Good. Look in the bag.
A watch, a camera, and a suit.
Yep. Put the suit on.
Okay. Stupid zipper.
Congratulations. You've passed my test.
Test for what?
Whether you'd make a good spy. Now I have a real mission for you. Find room G213. In 2010, the Virginia General Assembly enacted House Bill 861 and Senate Bill 257, establishing what we know as the Motion Picture Tax Credit. To qualify, the production has to meet at least $250,000 in qualifying expenses and have shot 50% of its principal photography in Virginia. Of course, there are other regulations, but we'll have time for those later. Anthony, many of our spies have been going rogue and joining agencies like Hollywood, New York City, or Atlanta. We need you to find out why.
Who are my targets?
Nick Costa, junior producer. Connor Never, production assistant. Lacey Klinger, actress and theater company owner. Monet Allen, one of our youngest recruits, writer-director.
Let's do this. So this is where all the Hollywood agents go to hide. I'm calling them in. Now. Talk to me.
My first entrance to film was a while back in high school when I first began to be an extra in film. I used to do that all around town, met interesting people. That was my first experience with film. First time ever actually having to work with film. I was a post-production assistant. Did that one or two times out in LA, then a few more times out here. And then I moved over to content creator, which is what I did at my first job, which is basically just an editor for social stuff. And then I made a lateral move into producing, and now that's all I do. I'm a producer now.
So I've been working in the film industry for about 5 years now after I graduated. I've worked on shows like House Hunters, The Bachelorette, Turn Season 4, Homeland, Wonder Woman 84. I've worked on quite a bit of like everywhere between reality TV and then scripted TVs and movies. I started out actually doing reality TV, but I kind of jumped into the scripted TV and television movie industry that way. But I would say primarily most of what I do on set is in the locations department. And so locations is a lot like logistics. And so it's sort of figuring out like where the crew's gonna park, where all the trucks with equipment will land, getting agreements from the location owners and stuff like that. It's like, hey, we're coming to film, like use your house. to shoot a movie here, like here's an agreement, let like like what all's gonna happen, like where we can't go. It's okay if we put all this stuff in your yard, or like replace the door with another door to make it look more, I guess, movie like, I guess. So it's a lot of like stuff like that.
So I've been a professional actor since I was 18 in theater. So I've done musicals and straight plays, I've done devised work, I've helped develop new plays in New York. My master's degree is in acting, so I'm a master's of fine arts in acting. I'm also a professional director of theater, choreographer of theater, and I'm a member of Actors Equity Association, which is the professional acting union. So musicals, I think people probably know titles of those more than other things. So I was Mrs. Cratchit in A Christmas Carol. I was Estelle in The Full Monty. I was Anna in The King and I, Belle in Beauty and the Beast.
For the new recruit, I've been hearing things about the other agencies. Should I move out there?
I think it depends on what they want out of it. If they want to work, if they want to get more familiar with Hollywood and that big setup like that, then I think they should definitely leave and go to somewhere where it's more likely, like LA or New York or something like that.
Well, there's more opportunity in bigger cities just because there's more people, there's more companies, there's more happenings in the industry. Oftentimes students will come and say, I want to act, and I'll say, okay, and how are you going to do that? Like, where are you going to go to do that? So they have to be really specific about where they want to live, what sort of quality of life they want to have, and they have to be specific about what kind of theater they want to do. So if you want to be on Broadway, yeah, you got to go to New York, because that's where Broadway is.
I do think I gained more knowledge from being out there. To be very honest, I think I gained a lot over here, more because I put in the effort to learn it now. But I do think I gained the knowledge of what is possible out there and like what you can do out there. And that's what the biggest thing I gained from there was the possibilities from what I've learned.
If you want to move out in the cities, I would do it sooner rather than later, because the more older you get, you have all these responsibilities, like a mortgage and all this stuff. It's like it's hard to move when you're sort of already established your roots.
The biggest thing in film is you need your contacts. So, and you build those in LA, you build those in New York, and now you build those in Atlanta as well. So those are the main three, with LA and New York being the emphasis on it. So should you at some point? Yes. If that's if the dream is to be anything in film, yes, move there.
Damn. Gotta figure this out. Got me second guessing. How do I make it?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm still trying to figure that out myself, but from what I know, I can speak on what I've learned myself is you really just gotta put yourself out there.
You got to be specific about what make it means. If you come and say, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to say, not with that plan, you're not.
There's a specific site for Virginia filmmakers to find other crew members, to find people to help them out with their films, find extras, actors, all that. So I think it does give hope. But we get this, I guess, we have this thing of being a small state, I guess, so people don't think that we do, but I think we do.
To be very honest, the odds of being in the film industry through staying here your whole life is very tough. It's not impossible, but it's very tough.
You know, I know several people who live in Richmond who this is what they do. They act, and they make their living as actors. They make their living as directors. So while in bigger places, because there's more people, there's going to be more jobs out there, you might be a little fish in the big pond of New York.
There are other places than, the big three, like New York, LA, or Atlanta. But because, I guess, streaming services and all these other network shows are trying to like create as much content as possible, and so they're looking at other places that are cheap to film. So like Virginia's, for example, their tax incentive isn't as good as Atlanta, but people come here because it has a unique look compared to like, shooting everything in Los Angeles.
Maybe I will stay. And if I leave, I'll come back and build the Virginia industry. Yeah, it sounds good.
Mission complete. Great job. I am proud of the work you have done, Anthony.